From New Jersey, California, Israel, the place where metal forgot to die.
This is the Here Lies Metal album covers review.
That's what it is. It's new. It's a new show.
Sorry, I've never said that before.
Yeah,
I am Samantha.
I am Maledictus. And we shall be your overlords today in all of eternity. So yeah, this is our new show. What we're going to do here is we're going to go over our favorite album covers from past and present. And we're gonna have different themes, of course, for each review, each collection of covers we want to go over. We're gonna do the usual reviews that we do at the end of every normal album review. We always go over the covers, but on this particular show, we're just gonna go over the covers, how we like them, how we hate them, and obviously that's gonna be different themes of covers. So today's episode is going to be about the worst metal album covers. And this is based off of an article you've probably seen. I believe it's been on Metal Sucks. It's been on Loudwire.
I thought we used multiple.
There's
articles.
Multiple sources, but a lot of people have released this article.
We looked at a few articles from the big outlets. Mm-hmm. So the voice for the metal community.
Yeah, everyone's done this article, like 50 worst album covers. We're not going to do 50 of them, obviously. We're going to do our favorites that we saw here.
The repeat offenders. Mm-hmm. Or, just like the notable ones. We'll talk about them today.
Yeah. There's a collection of, of album covers that people kind of universally find, like putting on that bad list. Obviously that's very subjective. But, we're going to talk about some of those today. So,
also, not every album we were familiar with the band. Maledictus was brave enough to listen to
I made sure.
all of them. I did not,
yes. But... Because most of these albums, I've never listened to. And, most of them are kind of popular. So I decided to just listen to them really quickly today, and so I'll give you a little spoiler. Not all of them are as bad as some of the artwork, and some of the artwork's a lot better than the albums. So either way, but let's begin here. So first we have so this is a famous one. This is on every list ever, and I thought I'd talk about this one. This is Stryper with Soldiers Under Command of God, obviously. Now. They see this album cover and they're like, look how funny this is. Look how silly this is. I don't think this is silly at all. I like this album cover. I mean, it's Stryper. They're soldiers for God. They got Isaiah 53.
What does that mean?
That I didn't look up.
But that's not the album title.
No, that's not the album title. It's Soldier Under Command. They got I don't know what that passage is. It probably means like don't be gay or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably something like that. I didn't bother look. I should have looked that up. I bet
it's something anti-Satan.
Maybe
because that was like their deal, right?
Right. Yeah, they were because all these bands were kind of in their time. When they're still around. But when this album was made, a lot of bands are being accused of being Satan. So these guys were like, we're not Satan. So parents, have your kids buy our album, right? Maybe that was their gimmick.
I'm not sure why you would have a strong reaction to this cover, other than thinking it's kind of stupid with their stripes.
Well, that was their theme.
Yeah,
Stryper,
like Stryper.
Stryper.
Stryper is an acronym meaning salvation through redemption, yielding peace, encouragement, and righteousness.
That's so.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea. That's what that means. Then I thought it was Stryper. Look, stripes.
So
like
I'm just saying, there's no reason to have these bumblebee stripes.
Yeah,
but
they didn't need to do that. Yeah.
I don't see what's so offensive about this. Looks like 80s hair metal. And
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
If you listen to it, it's 80s hair metal with a very clear religious theme. It's not even like like on the DL. It's very clear. They're shouting it on the top of the mountain. That they love Jesus. And hey, let me tell you something. These guys, they got machine guns. They got they got like a van, like an A-Team van.
They've got like the Christian metal Ghostbusters car.
Yeah, or it's like the A-Team van maybe. They got lights on it and everything. So Stryper's coming. Assemble Team Stryper, and they come and they respond to any comment that's just like Satan going on. But I'm telling you something. These guys, if I were like a bunch of Satanists and these guys rolled up, I would fucking run for my lives because they got fucking machine guns. What do you got? Like you're upside down cross. You're gonna have a torch. You're gonna burn down a church or something. These guys got like Vargas burned down a church. These guys roll up. They fucking gun down Varg. Okay, they fucking destroy him. All right, let me tell you something, guys. Jesus metal guys, Chads, satanic black metal guys, virgins. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Look, when I see this, that's what I'm thinking.
I have to disagree, but
that's what I'm thinking here. These Chads, okay, Chads, 100%.
All right, I think final verdict on this is I don't know if it's a good album cover, but it's not a bad one.
Pretty cool. It's pretty fucking cool.
It's fine.
Makes me want to like Stryper. Makes me nuts.
Maledictus loves it.
It makes me want to
reason.
find Jesus. Okay, it makes me want to say fuck Satan. These guys got fucking guns. They're gonna fuck shit up. Okay, all right. You all know this one. Everyone's seen this one. You probably haven't listened to it though, because you're not gonna find this. Pantera kind of buried this album, But if you go on YouTube, you'll find it. So if you want to listen to it, it's not going to be on Spotify.
What is it?
This is Pantera. Oh my God, this is Pantera. This is their first album. It's called Metal Magic. Yay, Metal Magic. It's so hopeful for a band that made Cowboys from Hell, or all those other angry songs they have with the album with the guy getting punched in the face. And
so I think it's pretty obvious why people will think this is stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
But I think if you look back, those people have no joy in their lives.
No.
People who think this is
stupid. Also, this was made in 1983. Okay. Now, it's not the highest quality. I mean, it looks like someone kind of drew it on it with a marker. So this is, a cat, a Pantera cat.
It's a cat man.
Pantera, like a panther, a cat man, but he's got like a D&D kind of sword. You find one of those on Skyrim.
It's kind of a nasty looking weapon.
Yeah, it's like one of those Skyrim swords. You can get one of those.
There's no sword like that on Skyrim. I'm sorry.
It was kind of like it wasn't that Barbie, but it was kind of a barbed sword in Skyrim like that.
It's got some kind of
there's a burning city behind him.
Plus the Constitution belt on.
Mm-hmm. He's naked otherwise. He could be like a Thundercat though. He could be like Lion-O. Thundercats. Ho! But yeah, this is 19. And you know what? This album, it's 1983. So like talking about the album, it's a very Fisher Price album, but it's a lot of synths in it and stuff. It's not that bad.
I think this album should make you wistful and nostalgic for a bygone era.
Listen to it.
I'm talking about the album cover.
The album cover is very appropriate for what's going on here. And this is obviously comes up as probably like number one as like worst album. Like this album.
I think that's because the type of people who got into Pantera later think this is like for gays.
The kind of people that got into Pantera after Cowboys from Hell, they're like not your most open-minded kind of guys. They're kind of your mouth breathers of metal. You look at this gay shit. And Pantera, Pantera's like, we gotta hide this. We can't let anyone ever see this. It's like
Phil Anselmo included.
Yeah, like we can't let anyone. Instead of embracing this as your past, as your fun, happy past, I could just picture the Abbott brothers, these young, hopeful metal guys that love Kiss. I think they were kind of like these suburban kids, before Dimebag, back when he was called Diamond Darrell, before he found weed and he was Diamond Darrell. They were probably just very happy kids, with a good upbringing. One played drums and one played guitar, and they were like, yeah, metal magic. They were probably such nice kids. Well, rest in peace, both Abbott brothers. But it is what it is. So this is a Metal Church album, folks, by cover art by Antonio Rio Negro.
I can't say I've seen this one before.
Yeah, I think this when I saw this, I was because I'm pretty familiar with Metal Church album, and Metal Church, not a bad band. This was made in 1993, by the way. They're kind of like a metal kind of thrash band. They're kind of metal thrashy. But this cover is this is not a good cover. This is
so that you want to talk about this, even though this is a bad cover. This
is completely inappropriate. Yeah, this is. I don't like.
So this is an example. I agree. I don't like this.
It does not go with the music. The music on this cover this album is pretty decent. It's not terrible.
No human wants to look at this.
Yeah, like what does this have to do with? It's like some tremendously obese woman with armor on, and she has like a mohawk hair, with a really cheesy, what in a piece. What? Who drew that? Who okayed this? Even in the 90s, who? This looks like it was this is some airbrush guy who makes airbrush things down shore. It looks like it should be from the shore or something. You go down to Seaside and you get this drawn on your shirt or something. This is terrible.
I think I don't like this because it seems like it's kind of making fun of fat women into metal.
I guess, but
this is the type of girls we get on our show. Look at them; they're terrible.
Is that what they're saying?
I don't know.
It just makes no sense.
I mean, it's clearly derogatory on her. Oh, she's gonna step on a tightrope. She's got this ridiculous little umbrella. It's definitely making fun of her.
I didn't even notice the tightrope, and that's why she's carrying. I didn't even notice that. See, that's why she has the umbrella.
It's not like these guys are they like big women, and they're this is a negative.
Yeah, it's like this is a. Well, the album is called In the Balance, and she's balanced. I did not know. I just saw this obese woman. I was like, look at this obese woman. She's on a tightrope, and and she has an umbrella, and it's in the balance. So it's hard to. Maybe they're saying in the balance is very hard. Of course, this might have just been the record label's here's your album cover. I'm sure the guy. I'm sure they didn't have anything to do with this.
It's weird because they clearly made her like a metal chick.
Kind of like a Viking. She has like Viking armor on, kind of. She has like metal armored boobs.
It looked like they're trying to show her wearing fishnets, maybe.
Yeah, those are kind of fishnets. I mean, it's like she's just completely...
She's got a metal church tattoo.
Yeah, she got...
What are you guys going for? What is this?
It's a peace symbol, which is weird. But I don't like this. I'm not happy about this one. I can't find any joy in this one. It's just completely inappropriate for the album because it's not a bad album. It's not a terrible album. So anyway, folks, let's move on. So this is of course a legendary band, of course, one of the biggest bands in metal ever, Iron Maiden. With Dance of Death. Now, obviously most Iron Maiden albums that are made by Derek Riggs, iconic album covers, as you all know, with Eddie the Head on them. And Eddie's still here. I think that's Eddie right there as a Grim Reaper sort of figure.
That's generous.
That's generous. It is generous. This little baby here riding a dog. Okay, but so this was a computer generated.
It's more like surfing on the dog.
He's surfing the dog. That's true. It's hard. Well, let me explain to you how this was made. So back in this was made in mid 2000s, I guess. And Bruce Dickinson was a singer.
That recent.
Yeah, it's not. It's not from like the 90s. This is like from maybe 2008. Maybe.
I would have thought this was like 94.
No. This is like 2008, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is computer generated, obviously, and it was originally designed by a guy named David Patchett, but he asked for his name to be removed for some reason. But the band, after it was unfinished, the band manager said it looked empty. So they hired someone from Iron Maiden. So here's how they finished.
This doesn't look empty.
Yeah, it doesn't look empty anymore.
Good job.
They definitely fixed the problem. However, sometimes you fix what isn't that broke. But they hired someone from IronMaiden.com. Basically, had one of their fans, I guess. From the website, to make characters using a program called Poser. Now, Poser was like a big program back in the day where you could like pose like 3D like mannequins, and it was really cheesy. It was like, but back then I guess it was cool. But it doesn't mean make a heavy metal album cover with it. From an iconic band that usually has awesome album covers. So yeah, these figures were made in Poser, which I could tell. Like these are obviously made in a very early version of Poser. So basically, yeah, they didn't even work on any. They didn't even put any textures on this. It was just it is just it is one of the worst metal album covers ever. And that's basically they let their fans finish it as far as the story goes, because it was never finished. So some guy's like, oh, let's put some like demons here, and let's go put this and put the little baby surfing the dog, and this guy here, and yeah.
Can you imagine what it feels like to be such a big Iron Maiden fan that you're running the website, and like you're now known as the artist on the worst ever Iron Maiden cover?
Yeah, like no one's particular name is on it. That's the thing. It's just like.
But like yourself, you did it.
Yeah, like I kind of did.
You're responsible.
Yeah, and that person should be the name. That's fine. But yeah, it's and the music on this is typical of Iron Maiden of the time. Bruce Dickinson Return kind of Iron Maiden. And it's no one likes new Iron Maiden, but so it's not But this album cover is even worse. Yes, it's worse than the boring Iron Maiden.
It's not even doing justice to later day Iron Maiden.
Yeah, it makes it even worse.
Some people like that. I don't.
This should be like a Blaze Bayley album cover. So anyway,
moving on.
That's that. Now this one, for some reason, this one also makes all the lists.
This is blasphemy.
Please tell me what's wrong. People, comment down below. Please tell me what's wrong. Okay. Folks, this is Manowar's second album, Into Glory. It is probably the best Manowar album. I think that's debatable, but I love this album. Everything about it. I love. There's nothing I hate about this album. It has an awesome sound. It's great. When you see this, it's what fucking part of Manowar didn't you understand? Like, what do you want me to say? I mean, you have all the original. You have the classic lineup. Joey DeMaio over here, and he's got like a loincloth made of fur, and Scott, the late Scott Columbus here, he's kind of kneeling down with his sword. Eric Adams is here, he's got a mace, he's wearing some leathers and some furry boots, and Ross the Boss is over here, he's ready to fight. So, as Manowar, as the philosophy of Manowar goes, and to strive to improve, to prepare and overcome obstacles, as, that positive message of Manowar, as we all know, that it really occurs in all their songs, and you become a better person every day. That's what Manowar is, a very positive message.
Again, people who don't like this are just the people who don't get joy out of life.
Yeah, and they, some people just, it's so easy to just make fun of Manowar.
Yeah, like they see this
cool
and they're like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But again, like if you don't like Manowar, then you probably won't like this album cover. And if you like Manowar, you're going to love this album cover. So I don't think it's fair to say it's bad. Because at that point, you're cutting to the heart of what Manowar is and saying all of Manowar is bad.
Yeah, and that's cool. Like some, like obviously you'll see articles on Metal Sucks and stuff. How they always make fun of Manowar. All the metal publications. It's always so easy to make fun of Manowar. Like Lars will make fun of Manowar, but they don't understand Manowar. That's all I could say. It's an awesome band. As most Manowar album covers are done by Ken Kelly. Which those illustrated. But this was before that. This is, like I said, their second album, and I think everything about it is awesome. And if they want to keep making it come up under worst album covers, that's
guys with swords.
Guys with swords, and overcoming your enemies, overcoming your challenges.
Guys with swords are in now.
It's a battle. Yeah, and these guys were doing it before it was cool. And you still don't think they're cool, some of you. So anyway, that's Manowar. Awesome. Okay, so this is one that comes up often, and you might not know who this guy is. You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
No idea who this is.
Okay, so Kanye Roberts is he was one of Alice Cooper's guitarists, and he's still a thing. I actually found a video of him doing a song with Alyssa Weiss Schultz and Alice Cooper, with Arch Enemy. And he was playing guitar and singing, and they were all kind of having this trio kind of thing going on there. And I tell you what, this guy, like today, he's old and he's still jacked. Okay, like this guy's not fucking around. He's kind of like the Timmy Capello of metal. This guy, it's good. This is awesome. This is everything about this guy. He's got a guitar here, and it's a machine gun. And he's like running through the city streets like Rambo, and there's a helicopter chasing him.
Does look like Rambo.
Yeah, and he's got this is his little symbol here. His guitar is also a machine gun, and he's got like a sight here, and he's got like a rocket launcher. Yeah, like what do you want me to say?
Honestly, like I think if you're a guitar guy and you just name the album, your band is just your name.
Yeah.
Like your album cover needs to be some ridiculous monument to you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, why would you do anything else? You're the hero of this album. It's his album, and like I said, this guy's a great guitar player. He's 100%. Check him out.
We're saying this is a good album cover.
This is awesome. I love this album cover. I like
that there's a helicopter looking for him.
But he's running. Yeah, they're searching for him.
He's gonna fucking shoot him out of the sky.
Yeah, he's Rambo. It's like Rambo when the Russians are looking for him, and he's like, that's what this. Like I said, he's Timmy Capello of metal. Like, he's awesome. He's instead of a saxophone, he's got a machine gun guitar. So him and Timmy Capello should make like an action movie together. As far as I know, he's awesome. Kind of Kane Roberts. Okay, these guys. This is Venom, with their albums Cast in Stone, designed by Conrad Lant. I hate this album cover.
I do too.
It is just stupid in every way, and it's not a bad album. This is like late '90s. It's thrashy and aggressive. It's actually a pretty good album. I don't like the sound of it, but it's the songs are kind of good. But yeah, it's just their faces here. It's all the original members.
It's like they're all the same flesh amalgam.
Kronos, Mantis, and Abaddon.
Which is what we want from Venom and not death metal.
They just look funny though. Look at Kronos. He's like, and this guy is like a skull face, but he's got his sunglasses on though. He had time to put his sunglasses on. And this guy is just like melting, and this guy just looks dumb. He's like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's unpleasant to look at. You can't see the logo or the album title because of the coloring.
Yeah, it just mixes in there.
I feel like it's more of like a death metal album cover, like a shitty 90s death metal album cover.
It's very 90s. It's just...
but it's Venom.
It's a bad Photoshop job. Like it's someone that did not really know how to use Photoshop, and they kind of just plopped this together because they thought they were doing a good job, and they weren't. So, and that's what you get. There was a lot of that. It was like getting a tattoo in the 90s. Album covers and tattoos are very similar in the 90s. They were just bad. So that's an example of that. Not a bad album though. Okay, from Japan, Metalucifer. You've probably seen this album cover. Metalucifer with Heavy Metal Chainsaw by Habi. It was obviously it's a Japanese band, so obviously the artist, he's done many album covers for them. Despite this is like I said, this is an infamous album cover that appears in many bad album lists. But these guys are a legit Japanese speed metal, new wave British heavy metal type of band. They have another album called Metal Drill. They have another one called Metal Bulldozer. So they have like a tool shed or a garage full of metal things.
Heavy metal chainsaw.
Tools. Yeah. So this is their chainsaw. And what he's got a chainsaw, and there's trust me, if you listen to this, you're like, oh, I get it.
You know what? I hate anyone who doesn't like this album cover. Fuck you.
It's awesome. And if you listen to the music, like it's fun. It's not focused.
Yeah, these aren't a serious band.
It's awesome.
Heavy metal chainsaw. Fuck yeah, look at it.
It's chainsaw. He's got a fucking chainsaw.
He's in fire.
Yeah.
He's
Japanese know how to do metal. Okay? When they do it fucking well. And this is an example. Don't hate this album cover. There's zero wrong with it. So.
If you don't like this, you're just bad. You're just a bad person.
Yeah, you're a bad person. You hate life. All right. We all know this one. Riot with Narita. This came out in 1977, 78 maybe. It's a painting, obviously, a painting by Stephen Weiss, who's done all those Riot album covers.
I'm surprised we're not talking about the first one.
Yeah, I mean the first one is similarly interesting, but first of all, this album is awesome. Listen to this album; it's a fucking awesome album, like 100%. Narita is an airport in Tokyo. Obviously, this is a Japanese theme. It's a samurai warrior here, and this Mount Fuji's back there.
It wasn't clear on that other album that the seal was a warrior.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was just his face was just there. It was nice.
Right,
but now we finally get the full view.
He's a samurai
of the seal man.
Yeah. And he's a samurai warrior.
Or it looks more like a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, or a sumo wrestler. That's correct, a sumo wrestler. And he's got like an axe here. In the airplane here behind him, it's landing at Narita Airport in Tokyo.
And he is fucking shit up.
Yeah, he's just like, he's got all these skulls and his Mount Fuji's back and there's fire.
It looks like he's been eating people.
Yeah.
He's got blood on his mouth.
If you don't get this album, it's made in 1977.
Everyone makes fun of the seal mascot.
Yeah, you don't
fucking
get it.
Awesome.
Yeah, you don't get it. If you think that's dumb, you don't get Riot. You don't understand Riot.
No.
Okay, that's all I gotta say.
We're gonna get tattoos of the seal.
I would love the seal tattoo. That would be awesome. I don't care if no one got it, then you're just dumb. You don't love metal if you don't get it. Because Riot is one of the most awesome pre-metal bands ever. And that's a fact.
Okay, maybe it's not high art, but it is what it is, and it's perfect for Riot.
It's a painting. So
it's another thing where you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
I mean, it's like you maybe see someone might say, "Oh, it looks like a kid painted this," but it's a certain style of art. It's like you don't get it then. Like you don't get art, you don't get metal, you don't get anything if you don't get it. All right, this next album cover. This is kind of a silly one. Mortiis, we all know Mortiis with the one man army Mortiis, as we say, with the Stargate, photographed by Anna Kalberg. Okay, so this is misleading. This one because. This is nothing but, this isn't black metal. This is symphonic metal, 100% symphonic metal. It's all symphony orchestra making these grandiose kind of songs. It's really dumb. So this is not a symphonic metal kind of cover. You know what symphonic metal covers look like. We went over that.
I don't think that's why people put them on that list, though.
Why do you think people put them on?
Because they don't like nice, campy, fun things.
Yeah, but was he doing that or was he serious? This guy, I don't know.
I think he's got a little self-reflection in him.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
All right. I mean, he's like, I'm flying.
Look at him.
He's like, I'm flying above.
Okay.
But this cover, I see an elvish Batman, with a skull on his dick. But the music is not good in this at all.
I think this album has to be qualified as high art just because of how iconic this image is.
Yeah, everyone knows this one. Obviously.
I actually haven't listened to this album, but I know this album cover, and I like it.
All right, yeah, but it's
okay. This is highly memeable.
It is. I think.
And if just say what you will, it's silly. They turn into memes. If you didn't like looking at that, you wouldn't make a meme out of it. You wouldn't proliferate it.
Right, it would be forgotten.
It would be forgotten.
Yeah, and it's not forgotten.
It's like that Venom, where you don't like looking at that cover.
Yeah.
You do like looking at this.
Yeah, it's like, look at he's so grand.
Don't say you think it's stupid. You like looking at it.
But the more black metal albums covers should look like this, though.
It is iconic and amazing.
Okay, the album cover should just go with different music because I don't like what's inside the album. That's just me.
It's not for you or us.
I don't get it.
That's okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be for us.
Not into it. Okay. Here's some death metal. Here's some gory death metal. Exhumed with the album cover Gore metal. I mean, did they invent this genre? I don't know. No, probably can't.
No. I think more Carcass.
Carcass kind of did that before, right? With all the body stuff. By Brian Henry. And Brian Henry, he's kind of been around. He's done album covers for Mortiis, for Nightstick. He's kind of does the album covers like this. More chainsaws here. We got more chainsaws. And it's an appropriate cover. Kind of low budget horror props, but maybe that's the thing they were going for. I think it works.
That's exactly what they're going for.
Yeah, because it's kind of like silly, cheesy kind of horror props.
It's just very mystifying. Like, what Exhumed is. They're very upfront. They're a gore metal band. They're not going to make a classy, like, photo of Gore. It's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like a campy horror movie.
Yeah, it's like a real life, as opposed to where like Cannibal Corpse would do like a drawing of this. Like they would do like a drawing of something gory. Like these guys kind of made up props and stuff. They did like.
So if you think this is bad, you just don't understand the assignment.
Yeah. Also, the guy that did this is like he's got a pretty good portfolio of covers. So he's not like I think it's just a little bit of irony in this.
Look, there's a brain in the microwave.
Yeah, there's a head in there. It's like
It is what it is. It's an Exhumed album cover, and it cannot be bad.
Yeah,
based off this criteria.
It is what it is. That's like what you were expecting. It's Exhumed. That's what they do. So this is another one that comes up often. And they're more of an obscure band, but we thought we'd talk about this one. Wolf by Wolf. Just Wolf. Some guy named Arnold did this because it says it right there. Otherwise, I couldn't find that information anywhere. This is a legit Swedish metal band, but this album they're doing like sort of an Enforcer thing, but in 1999 though.
This is from 99?
Yes. As far as I know, unless I'm wrong. I
thought this was older.
I thought it was newer because it sounds kind of like Enforcer.
No, I'm just talking about the art.
Oh yeah, the artwork is definitely. Maybe it's a commissioned piece. Maybe it's like maybe this was an old piece of artwork that they put on their thing. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have the facts behind that. But the music is very Maiden. It's pretty decent. But they got this Rat Wolf guy. And and I don't know if this was drawn for the album or maybe they just licensed the artwork. I don't know, but it's notoriously silly.
I don't see what's wrong.
Rat Wolf.
Obviously it's a bit of a. I don't know. I like this. He's got a look in his eye.
He's got the full moon. He's like a rat almost. He's got his little.
I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
but I don't think it shows like poor art skills necessarily.
No, it's a certain style of art. It's a certain medium used. Maybe like pastel or like pencil, ink. But it is like I couldn't draw that. It seems like ill proportionate. It seems like but there's a lot of Renaissance art that looks. The
mouth is a little strange.
Yeah, it's like ill proportionate, but then that's probably not.
But I feel like it's not supposed to be realistic.
Yeah, I don't think that's due to lack of art skill.
This is a cubist tool.
Yeah, it's modern art. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're dealing with.
I don't know. I find something compelling about it. I wouldn't necessarily put it on the wall, but I'm not going to say it's one of the worst album covers ever.
I'd put it in the bathroom, for sure.
Yes, I agree with that. We could put that in the bathroom.
I would like it. All right. So, and finally, Canadian metal. We couldn't go on without having Canadian metal with Exciter. Unveiling the Wicked by Mez, a guy named Mez. And he's done album covers for Merciful Fate, a lot of exploited album covers. He's done a Wasp album cover, Cradle of Filth. But this guy's been around. So we got the lizard people right here. That's the lizard people revealing themselves.
I agree that this one is bad.
It's bad. It's very Canadian. I just think of Canada, like it's so Canadian. Now, if you listen to it, this was kind of a stage when this band was kind of going a little bit hair metal. They're a well-known speed metal band, obviously, from Ottawa, but they're getting a little hair on this one, and that album cover is
it's just not that well done.
The makeup. This took makeup though. Because I don't think that's.
You think no? That's definitely not a full practical effect. Where did her nose go?
It could be covered by.
No, it's gone.
This.
The nose got taken out and whatever.
Yeah, but it's not like computer it's not like art, it's not illustrated. I think this was really like a photograph.
No, look at her eye. She's not wearing a contact. Yeah. Like that was done in whatever technology they had.
Or maybe they photoshopped it onto her, like
Well, yeah, there's obviously like a photographic element, but I'm saying this is not all like a practical effect.
I'm curious because well, this is like 1986. Photoshop was definitely not.
Yeah, like I'm curious, but I think some of this is definitely illustrated.
Yeah, maybe or maybe it was just it was manually done.
And they removed her nose, which bothers me.
Yeah, the nose is kind of just completely coming off here, and her, but yeah, it's just has a silly look on her face. She's like, I'm a lizard person, But yeah, that one doesn't really work for me.
It is not pleasant to look at.
Yeah, the album's, not their best album, I would say. And, so it kind of goes with it. But yeah, it's, it's just a revelation of, the lizard people. That's clearly what that is. The people that are in control of everything. So that's all we're going to do. I mean, obviously
that was it?
That's all of them we're going to do for this episode. There's a lot of them, obviously. But these are, our favorite ones that we chose.
Well,
here.
It seemed like we didn't like everyone.
No, we didn't. No, well, ones from that list, ones we wanted to talk about. Obviously, we didn't like all of them. Some of them we liked. Some of them are legitimately kind of shitty. But, these are, of bands you probably heard of, most of them, that we like talking about. So, yeah, so we're going to do more episodes like this, different themes. So I hope you liked, had fun with us here today talking about these album covers. And comment down below,
what did we learn?
Yeah, what did we learn? what did we learn? I don't know what I learned.
That most people who make album cover, worst album covers in history are joyless, bad people.
Well, yeah, they're writing, they're kind of like these miserable, like hipstery kind of guys that work for Metal Sucks or something, and they're just like, ugh, look at this Manowar album. Ugh, look how silly that is. They just don't get it. They're just too busy thinking about like what they're wearing, and they're so busy about their image, and they think Manawar's silly. I don't know. They have their life has no meaning.
Or just people who are just too serious, have no business looking at like a hair metal album cover from the 80s.
Yeah, they can't appreciate it. So,
or we should say, you should not judge a genre's album covers if you don't even like that genre of music. Like if you think hair metal's for pussies, you're not going to like the Stryper album cover.
Yeah, you're going to think that's a silly album cover.
But your opinion isn't valid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't even like the music in this album that much, but I think this makes me want to.
But you like some hair metal.
Yeah, I do, absolutely. I just this one is not the music in this one's a little bit cheesy, but it does sound good. It's just not it's not the subject matter is kind of silly.
Well, that's good because I don't want you converting.
No. I mean, this album cover is trying to, it's definitely enticing me to convert, to find Jesus. I'm not going to lie to you right there. I mean, they got machine guns. They got a cool van. Once you want, like, if these guys rolled up, I'd be like, they'd be like, get in. I'd be like, okay. They're like, come on, get in. We're going to kill Satan.
This is very suggestible.
I'd be like, yeah, I am. Like I said, these guys rolled up. Like, we're going to kill Satan. Get in. I'd be like, all right, let's go. And yeah, I'd go with this guy here. Matthew Sweet, whatever his name is.
That's not his name.
Ted Cruz, like guy. So yeah, folks, we're gonna do more episodes of this, more subject matter. Hey, comment down below what kind of album covers do you want to see on here that we critique. Not your album cover. If you're an unknown band, we're not gonna do your album cover. So those don't. It's not what I'm saying. Famous album covers that maybe you thought are shitty or good, or just different themes of album covers. And what did you think about these album covers? Comment down below if you liked them, if you hated them. Let me know. Engage, folks. So once again, that is our album review. That is our first album cover review show with Here Lies Metal. And make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And find us on the Twitters, Here Lies Metal, the Instagrams, Metal Lies Here, and Facebook, Here Lies Metal. Give us a shout out, all right, folks? And we'll see you with another episode very soon.